Hi guys, welcome to another lab flip video. This one is a lab called Cookin Cousins. You're trying to reproduce your one of your grandma's famous recipes, and all the white powders in her kitchen have gotten mixed up and you don't know which one is which. So your job is going to be to run some chemical tests, test for reactions, test properties, and try to identify which powder is which. So you'll have 5 powders just identified by number, and you will have to you're going to have trays to put them in for your test. Now on day 1, you're going to test them with water, vinegar, and iodine and see if they react or not, or if they just get wet and slushy. So you're going to be looking for those signs of a chemical reaction that we've been learning about. So you're either going to have one tray like this that's numbered 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, or you'll have 2 trays stuck together and we'll number them 1 through 6. Even though we don't have a 6th powder, I can't leave one unnumbered, that would drive me crazy. So you're going to have a baby spoon because you only need a tiny little bit of each powder. So in row 1, you're going to take a tiny bit of the powder in your little baby spoon and just put a little bit in each hole. You don't need very much. And if you're over here, it'll look like that. Give me a smidge more. Okay, so, but you're going to do that with all 5 of your powders. So you're going to have a little bit of this one. I'm not going to do them all, but you get the idea. You're going to put a little bit of the powder across the row. So make sure you only have powder 1 in row 1 and only have powder 2 in row 2. Okay? That way your results will make sense. And then your instructions will tell you to test their reaction with water. So you'll find the bottle that says water on it, and you're just going to put 1 or 2 drops. Not a lot. So 1 or 2 drops. I'm not going to do it because I don't want you to see what happens. That's a surprise. But you'll do the same thing. So that water would be the first one all the way down. And you will be writing down what happens. Note, just like this week's lab, before you start, you have to predict what you think it is. If you've done any work in the kitchen, you might have a good idea. If not, it'll just be a wild guess. That's okay. You're going to write down the appearance, the texture, the smell, so those physical properties that we like to identify before we start. Then this next column, heat, we're going to do on day 2. I'll show you that in a second. But here's where you're going to write down your reaction. Did it react or not? Did you get some fizzing? Did you get some bubbling? Did the color change? Did you see any signs? Look for your farts. If you see any farts, that's what you're going to be writing in this column. So first the water all the way down. Then the vinegar will be your second column all the way down. And then iodine, which will be your third column all the way down. So for each one, so you got 5 powders, you have to test each one 3 times. So that's 15 tests you have to run, 15 tests you have to document, and we expect you to get that done on day 1. So you are not going to have time to dawdle. You're going to have to be moving along at a pretty decent clip. Now day 2, we're going to test them and see what happens when you heat them up. So we'll give you some aluminum foil. It might already be broken into small pieces. If not, you can break it into small pieces. You kind of crumple it up into a spoon like this, like Miss Garcia did. Take a little bit of your first powder using your same sheet here. So we're going to start with powder 1. Put a little bit of the powder in the spoon like that. Note we're holding the spoon with a clothespin because a clothespin is an insulator or a poor conductor. And aluminum foil, of course, being a metal, is a good conductor, and we don't want the heat conducted to our fingers. So make sure you're holding onto it with the clothespin. Get your teacher to come by and light your candle for you. I can't do it with my left hand. I have to switch. Hang on a sec. There we go. We're going to light your candle, and then you're going to hold it over there for 30 seconds. Oh, my watch doesn't have a second hand. I don't know why I did that. But you're going to heat it like that. And again, not going to let you see what happens. That's for you to find out next week. So, safety issues. None of these powders will harm you. They're regular household goods. Vinegar, iodine is a disinfectant, so none of these things will hurt you, but you don't want to get them on your clothes, so we'll wear aprons and goggles, which I should have had on. And the day we're doing the heating, you absolutely must not be wearing loose clothes. You must have your hair tied back. and you must be very, very careful around the candles. And so just be mindful that flames can be dangerous. We don't want anybody to get hurt. So that's our big safety concerns this time, is not getting anything on our clothes, and then being very, very careful on day 2 when we do the fire. So we feel like you should be able to get those 15 tests done on day 1, and then we'll move to the fire on day 2. And as usual, you've got to take a lab flip quiz. Take it until you get a 100 on it. Remember, it's worth 10 points of your lab grade, and watching the video is 10 points. So make sure you get that done. The lab will be on Wednesday and Thursday, just like this week. Next week's will be as well. So this video will be up Friday for you. And if you have any questions about any of this, talk to your teacher. And the secret word today is, I need a good secret word. How about elephant? Because I'm still enamored of elements. Elephants are made of elements.